Yo.
Game of softball and show us how to play this magnificent game that we play down here in the southwest of Western Australia. You got away from me early with the first batter up. Shane, she picks it up and hits it back to the pitcher who plays second base for the force out. It's Annie, that's for the Yapura team. We got Carla up to bat now. Charla on, she goes after the first pitch. She hits a big hit, but Centerfield comes in and backs up second base to take the catch. But on her throw back to first base, the runner, Cheyenne, she gets back to first base. That's 2 out. Chloe Stream, she comes in to bat. She swings at the first one. Doesn't work for her, goes foul. She gets strike one. Lucelle. Chloe goes after that one. Picked up by third base. Across to second, but it's not taken at second. And Chloe gets around at second base on that play. 2 out and runners on second and third. Number 12. Lucelle Francis comes into bat. Not only is she a player, but she's a coach and runs this team. She stands there, pitch that ball at me. She goes after the first one, but fouls it down the third bag line for strike one. Pitch comes in. She goes after that. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Lucelle got 2 strikes with runners on second and third. She leaves that one alone. It's a bit too high for her, that one. Pitch comes in. She goes after that one. Third base goes to pick it up, doesn't pick it up cleanly. Runner on third comes home to score the first run. And the runner from second moves. Chloe, she moves across to third base. Lucelle puts herself on first with that hit up to third base. And Atilia Thomas, number 14, comes into bat. She goes on the left-hand side of the batter's box. Leaves the first pitch. Two. Doesn't like the look of the second one. That's strike, the umpire calls. She goes after this one, pops it up in the air. Just pops past shortstop's head. They make the play to second base for the forced out. That's three away. Not before Upara scores 1 run. Graham, what's your name?
Graham, do you know much about these two teams at all?
I don't know much about them all. I've just been roped in to do this commentary. So we're winging it along here.
So, yeah, so what do you, generally they play up north?
I understand they do. And the communities in the Western Desert they'd play.
Fantastic. And sort of softball, big pickup there, do you know? Take up well or new sport?
I'd say so. I'm only assuming they come down every time we have nationals down here and put on exhibition games.
Really good.
Part
sort
of
of really like a laid-back atmosphere here, this game, isn't it? Really good.
Yep. I think it gives the girls an opportunity to see how the big softball's played. It's not the social, it's more the this down here, more the serious professional softball. You know all about these girls? Cool. Is it Kakara? Is Kakara? Okay. All right, Yapura. Just have a little technical problem with the equipment. We can sort that out for the catcher. Number 3 for Yapura is Chanel Sambo. She's catching. The pitcher will be the coach, I'm assuming. Number 14. No, Antalya. Is that
Graham, we're lucky to be joined by Mike, who is actually the program manager of this. Is that correct, Mike?
That's correct, yeah. Thanks, guys, for having me. It's exciting to watch the girls play their first exhibition game this evening. So thanks once again, Softball WA, for hosting this unique opportunity for the girls. They're all very excited to be here. We've got girls representing 5 of the Western Desert communities here tonight, so it's very exciting on behalf of all the girls, and particularly having this event live streamed is fantastic. So
yeah, awesome, isn't it?
It is. It's
really
fantastic. Cool. So thanks, guys.
So just reminding all the people that can tune in and watch this, it is streaming to you live through Softball WA's Facebook page, as well as Sports Edge Facebook and Softball WA on YouTube.
We've completed the top of the first innings, and Yapura scored 1 run in that innings. Got away from me before I could manage to pick up the score and the commentary. Now we've moved across to have a proper ball that girls can see. Before they had the old black ball that they could hardly see. I think they brought it with them.
Well, the girls are very happy to be here. They're interesting to see some of the girls still wearing their sports shoes, so they're quite happy to play in bare feet.
Rabina, she comes in, watches the first pitch. That goes a bit too high for her. She leaves it alone for a ball. And she has a go at this one and fouls the ball out the third base line for strike 1. Has a go after that one. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. She misses this one. She's off to her space, running as fast as she can. And she makes it safely at first base.
So Rabina's from Punmu, one of our host communities for the Mardu Youth Festival in July. And that was where we had Ali Brooks from Softball WA come up and talent ID all these girls. So all these are the most talented Western Desert softballers.
Missed that pitch. Julia comes in and misses that pitch, leaves it for a ball.
How often do they play, Mike?
Doesn't like the look of that one. Rabina steals across to second on the pass ball.
Not that often, unfortunately.
2 balls.
So when we can have a festival where we get all the communities together, that's the best opportunity for them to compete and play against each other. And they do love to play each other. Very competitive and very passionate for their sport.
Goes after this one. Hits the big yellow ball out there. Centerfield picks it up to play first. In the meantime, Rabina steals away from second all the way home on that play to score the first run for the Kakara team.
So Kakara represents east side Western Desert communities, and Yapura represents west side Western Desert communities.
We have Sheena Robinson. She comes in to put the ball into play and push the runner around the diamond. Don't like that pitch. A bit too high for Sheena. Ball. This one she goes after. Pops it up in the air, but it turns foul on the third base line. Strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. And 1 run with a runner on first base. The pitcher tried to entice her to go that by pitching the ball down low, but unfortunately a bit too low for for Sheena. 2 balls, 1 strike. She
Well,
wanted to put that one out over the fence.
that would have
but
been out of the park, Graham, if she
it would have
connected with
been.
that.
It would have gone over that fence, I reckon.
Oh, we got a sneak. It snuck up to second there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. She has. Julia's snuck away across there. So there she goes. She hits it out to right field, just over right field's head. Takes the time, gets around the diamond, brings in Julia. And Sheena stands up on third base for a triple and an RBI. We now got Bianca Simpson coming into bat. She hits the first pitch and off it goes. Picked up by half left field, and also brings in Sheena for another run.
Hopefully the Mardoo communities are enjoying this live streaming. It's just fantastic to watch the girls live, but also on this streaming. It's just wonderful. So
We've
thank you
got
very
Bianca
much.
on first. Oh,
Great hit.
Ashton goes after the first one and cracks one down the first base line out to right field. Bianca, she goes all the way around 3 bases. Ashton thinks she can steal backwards and forwards up to second, but the ball gets thrown to second and pushes her back onto first base.
Any potential superstars out there, Mike?
I'd like to think so. We've
Yakara got 4
got some
runs.
power hitters in a couple of the teams. So I'll when I see the girls pop up, I'll mention some of their skills.
Mina Watson, she goes after the first pitch, smacks it out to centre field. Centre field plays it back to second base, but not in enough time to get the out on the forced play. Jerry Ann, she's into bat with runners on first and second. Misses the first one for a strike. Nobody out in this innings. She goes after that one. Hits it out to left field. It
Good hit,
goes
Jerry
past
Ann.
left field.
Oh, they're all coming in.
That ball comes back quicker than anyone thought. Only scored 1 run on that one.
So Jerry Ann's from one of the more remote communities, Bungor, in the Western Desert. So thanks, Jerry Ann. That was a great hit for your community. So well done.
Linnell comes in. Her turn to bat now. Ooh, umpire calls that a strike. She goes after this one. Puts it out to left field. The runner on third base.
So Linnell's
Man-
also one of our
Mano comes home.
Nurikajunka counsellors. So we really appreciate her taking a dual role this tour.
Which one's she?
She's on first base,
Oh,
Linnell
fantastic.
Gibbs. So she's a coach for her team, Kakara, and she's also a counsellor for Nurikajunka.
Wow.
So congratulations, Linnell.
Shamika Watson. Or Shamika Watson. Oh, she gets the first called strike on her. She goes for this one. Pops up the ball. And the catcher, number 3, Chanel Sambo, takes the catch and makes the first out for the Kakara team.
So how long are you down for, Mike?
Yeah, we're down for the whole week. So we've got the 3 exhibition games tonight, tomorrow afternoon and Friday afternoon. And it was all initiated by the partnership from Newcrest Mining and also Softball WA. So we're very thankful to both those organisations.
Rabina Gibbs back in. She hits the first pitch high inside, straight back to the pitcher, who makes the out at first base for the second out in this innings, but not before she pushes the 2 runners across to third and second. We have 2 out for Kakara with runners on second and third, and Julia Burton comes into bat.
was Nika.
Umpire calls a ball. It goes past the catcher. And Jerry Ann, she sneaks her way home for another run for the Kakara team. Linnell, she sneaks across to third.
Oh,
Julia hits it out to centre field, but not fielded. Thinks she'll run off cross to two. Tries to get in a rundown play. Go backwards and forwards she goes, and she steals and gets onto second base. Linnell's obviously come home. She come home while I wasn't looking.
yeah, 8-2 we got.
So the girls had a fun night last night. They went to the movies and had a relaxing night.
Fantastic.
So they were really looking forward to playing this evening in front of this wonderful crowd tonight.
Awesome.
Sheena's up to bat now. Low inside, the pitch is called for a ball. Umpire says that one's too high inside for a ball. Umpire Hank. Sheena goes after that one. It drops just in front of centre field. And she sneaks her way around to second base. Holds a foot on the base to stay safe. Julia, she's gone across to third base on Sheena's hit. And Julia's not going to come down on that pass ball. Bianca Simpson into bat with one ball on her.
Shot.
She smacks it out to centre field. And brings in Julia.
Big innings, Graham. Big innings this one.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm running out of paper. Bianca smacks it out to left field. We still have Sheena on third base. And up to bat, Ashton. Is that cool?
That's them all out. Side out.
Taken by shortstop to put the side away. 3 out, but not before. Kakara score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 big runs in that innings. Nine runs to 1. It's now Upara's team turn to come back and put some runs on the board.
Such a great initiative, Graham, don't you think, getting
I
this
think so.
playing here? Fantastic.
Because softball's the type of game that they can play anywhere, anytime,
Right.
and go for any age.
Yep.
Seriously. Even I play at my age.
How long have you been playing the sport?
I've been involved with the sport since the early 70s.
Right.
That's going to give you back my age, but I'm not going to tell you that one. But yeah, and there are a lot of veterans playing softball. But it's one of these games that anybody can play as long as they're fit and healthy. I think we have some ladies playing in our veterans team here that were state players right back in the 50s.
Right.
So it's one of those games, and these young ladies here, doesn't matter what they put into it, what they get out, they'll thoroughly enjoy what they do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And do they do like a Masters or Veterans sort of state competition or national competition?
They have what they call a Pan Pacs competition.
Right.
I've just recently been over there. It's mainly for people over the age of 35, over the age of 45. They have a
Wow.
couple of great.
Fantastic.
They held that on the Gold Coast. So we're ready for our batter, for Upara to come in. Latara Ginger, she's going to smack this ball around the park. Doesn't want that one though, because it's a ball. She goes after that one, a little bit on the outside, and fouls it back behind the catcher for strike one. Inside low, 2 balls, 1 strike on Latara. That one just not quite making the plate, so she's in front with the count. She's got 3 balls and 1 strike. She goes after that one, puts it out into the right field, outfield, gets herself on first base. Up to bat now we have Chanel Sambo from Warralong. I remember that. Umpire was looking the other way, a ball. And off she goes. So she bashes that ball between second and third out to right field and pushes Latara on. So 2 runners on base for the Yapura team.
Tell you what, having watched a couple of games today already, a lot of connections in this game, that's for sure, you know. Hit the ball well. Different pace of pitch, mind you, Graham. Different pace of pitching.
Definitely, yep. It's ball inside. Runners think they might steal across the bases, but the pitch is spot on. She's going to know they're not going to do anything. 1 ball on Kimara. No, it's not Kamara, it's Shawnette. I think we swapped around somewhere along the line. Sharonette goes for that one, hits it out to centre field, cleanly taken by centre field for the first out. We have runners left on first and second with 1 out. Up to bat, lead-off batter, Anna Aspro from Nullagine. She gets a called strike on her. Didn't want to hit it, didn't like it, but the umpire thought it was good enough to hit. Pitcher pops one in there beautifully, picks it up, knows the play, forced to 3 on that one out.
Oh, nearly.
For the second out in this innings. Two down. Cheyenne Booth from Nullagine, she comes up to bat. She puts the first pitch into play.
That's bringing them all home.
It goes out to centre field. Past the fielder, and she cleans the deck and brings all the runs in. 3 runs. Have 2 batters out. 3 runs scored, and up to bat is Carla Francis, also from Nullagine Community. She leaves that one alone. It's a ball. Ooh, the pitcher puts them right in the spot for her to hit, but she hits it foul up third base line for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Carla. She goes after this one. Hits it out. Gets it past the second base fielder. And puts herself on first base. Chloe Stream comes into bat. Chloe's also from Nullagine. She goes after the first pitch as a strike. Misses it, but it's a swung at strike. Oh, she hits that one off the ground. Picks it up, pitcher picks it up, makes the play to first, but unfortunately not fielded cleanly. And Chloe gets herself on first base. But runners on first and second. Sometimes not the glove's fault. Can't change the glove. Pitcher's got the weapon of success in her hand here. Runners on first and second, 2 out. And up comes the coach, Lucelle Francis. She don't like that pitch, but the umpire liked that pitch and he calls it a strike. And she goes after this one and pops it up in the air to be cleanly caught by the lady from shortstop. They play it back to first base on the force back for that out, and that retires the side. Not before they scored 4 runs. So at the top of the second innings, Lucelle put Upara put 4 runs on to halve the deficit, 9 runs to 5. But Kikara, their chance now to add to their score of 9 runs.
And you can see them having a massive participation in this sport, like you said, Graham, all over, anywhere really. It's
Yep.
really cool.
Yep.
Really good. Would you think?
Yukara got 2 runs in the first inning. Did they? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got 9. 2, and then they got.
I've
another.
just been corrected by a young man. Comes up to tell me that Upara got 2 runs in the first innings. And now their score is 6 runs to 9 runs. I should get that young man back here. He can spot for me and
He
keep
can.
an eye on the runs. Where is he?
I think he's sitting up on the hill.
We have, for pitching for Kikara is Julia Burton. She's pitching to Shamika Watson. Throws the first pitch across. Are we ready? Ball on Mena. Another ball on Mena.
Couple of famous names, that is. Couple of famous surnames there.
Yeah.
Nana.
Ooh,
Ooh,
she
great
goes
hit.
after this one. And she pops it out centre field. That's caught cleanly to be the first out for this innings for Kikara. Jerry Ann, she coming in now to bat. See if she can put herself on base. Try and hit these pitches Julia Burton's thrown in. That's a perfect pitch, that one. Picked up, hit across to third base.
Go.
Third base,
Go.
cross to first, but not quick enough to make the out. So Jerry Ann stays on first. We now have Linnell Gibbs, a pitcher from Kakara, coming in to bat. She leaves that one alone. A bit of a bouncer, that one. Oh no, we're going to change the pitch up.
There's a secret hand signal there, Grant. Did we miss that?
Yeah, I did.
Professional
I
hand
missed that
signals.
one. The pitcher comes in. She throws a bit of speed on that one, but a bit too high.
Whoa.
I'd call that a steal pitch. Unfortunately, it didn't come off. And the runner, Jerry Ann, steals away across to second base. I've got 3 balls on
Who's called it?
Linnell. Sneak it past me. She goes after this one. Oh, and that's a beautiful hit. Oh, the umpire's called it foul.
Oh, I thought that bounced in.
Yes. It's a bit tough, this umpire. Obviously bounced out before it got to third base. That's 3 balls and 1 strike on Linnell. Haven't got my reading glasses on, Hank, so I can't see.
3-2.
That's ball 4. Linnell picks up a walk, puts herself on first base. We have a runner, Jerry Ann, on second base. And Shamika Watson comes into bat with 1 out, runners on 1 and 2. Leaves that one alone, bit on the inside of the plate for her. Goes after that one. It was a lovely pitch, but unfortunately fouls back behind the catcher for strike 1. Ooh, a bit of heat thrown in on that pitch, but it's a bit on the outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes another one. Oh, hits it up to third base. Third base takes the fielder's choice on Shamika and puts Jerry Ann out at third base. That's 2 down for Kakara in this innings, with runners still on first and second. We have Rubina Gibbs come back to bat. Another one puts it into play, picked up by third base, who plays to second base for the force out at 2. And that retires the side. That's side away for that
Side
team.
away.
Didn't score any runs in that innings, so the count after the completion of 2 innings, and I think my young man will tell me this, 9 runs to Kakara and 6 runs to Yapura.
Top of the third.
We have a change of pitcher for Kakara.
Our umpy friend out there, he still plays, Graham, does he?
Who's this?
The umpire, he still plays?
I think he does, or I think he tries to play, because he is an umpire with a blue shirt, so sometimes it's a bit difficult to change your allegiance from umpiring to playing, but I think he tries most of the time.
Right.
Number 10, Bianca Simpson comes into pitch. The catcher for Kakara will be Linnell Gibbs, sorry.
Perfect. Best part of the day here to be playing right now. Beautiful.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
Yep. Not so hot.
No sun in your eyes.
Nah. Oh, just while we sort out the equipment, sometimes those leggings can be a bit difficult to put on.
Good old C. Hayden there getting the shot of the lights in.
Yep.
The night game.
Yes, get an experience of playing under lights. I've only ever tried it once. Had a bit difficult. He had to make a relay play from right field through the second base to home. Got the out, but that team I played for way above my league.
Huh.
I just had to make up the numbers. So we got Natalia Thomas coming into bat. She leaves the first pitch for a ball in the top of the third innings. She goes after this one. Smacks it out to centre field and puts herself on first base. We now have Latara into bat. She doesn't want that bat. She wants to use this one as more effective. This one, she'll smack the ball around the park with this one. And Natalia steals across to second base on the pass ball. And Latara waits for the pitch to come that she wants to hit. Umpire calls that a ball. I think he did. There we go. Oh, what a beautiful line drive. Knocked down by the pitcher. Protects herself on that hit. Gets it across to first, but the ball goes astray. Puts herself on base. Great reflexes by the pitcher to knock that ball down. It was a hard hit ball. Chanel, she's into bat. Umpire calls that pitch inside on the edge of the plate. We have a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike on Chanel. Nobody runs. Oh, yes, they do. Latara steals herself across to second base. We have a runner on third and a runner on 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. She goes after this one and smacks a huge hit out to centre field.
It's about bringing them all home here.
That in and keeps herself on first base.
Bit of a run fest, Graham. Bit of
Okay.
a run fest.
It is. It's going to be. I can feel this one. Sharonette Tom for Warralong. She's also a coach of the Yapara team. She comes into bat. She goes after the first pitch, has a big swing and fouls it back behind the catcher. Strike 1.
Oh,
Puts this one out to play, out to centre field. Picked up by centre field. Puts herself on first base and advances Chanel across to second base. Nobody out so far. Back to Annie Aspro from Nullagine up to bat. She goes after that pitch. High, wide and handsome in the outfield. Just manages to get it over the head of the centre field. And a bit of stealing on bases here. Chenille comes home on the play on return throw from centre field back to the infield. And the other two runners advance the base. Ooh, strike one. Right down the middle, that one. Cheyenne Booth from Nullagine. She leaves that one up in the air because she doesn't want that one.
Dead straight
Did
pitching,
you call
though.
that a strike?
They're dead straight.
Yep, they're beautiful. Bit much air on that one. It's away.
Whee.
Beautiful pitch. You're going to put the ball into play.
Gonna bring them all home here.
Yep, brings home
It's two.
Anna. Anna comes home. Cheyenne gets a triple hit out to right field. And stands up on third base. That scored another run for Yapura. Still haven't got an out yet. And I'm sure the pitch is working really hard to make sure she can get some out. She go a beautiful pitch straight down the middle. Picked up by shortstop. With a decision by the umpire.
Then we had one come home.
Safe
then,
at first.
didn't
Then we had one come
we?
home.
We did too.
Cheyenne came home. Chloe Stream, the next batter up. She goes that one. Just goes past pitcher. Picked up by second base. Second base covering both shortstop and second base at this stage of the game. Carla is on second base. Chloe on first. Lucelle Francis, the coach of the Nullagine team from Nullagine, comes into bat. She hits the first one through the gap, which normally covered by the shortstop, but she's gone around to the other side of the diamond and loads up the bases
With no outs.
with no outs. Bianca's thinking, what am I doing? Loaded bases. I've got to work out what pitch I'm going to throw to this batter. So she puts one up in the air.
Oh,
And Ateliers hits it out to the centre field. Brings in one run, brings in two runs. And not only that, collects the ball when it came back from centre field. Don't rub it. Won't hurt. Only hurts when you get home. 2 runs in. Chloe. And I've lost track. Number 13. Natara Ginger goes after the first pitch and fouls the ball back behind the catcher for a strike one.
oh, great hit.
Oh, a great hit. Nearly picked up by shortstop, second base fielder there. Loads up the bases again.
She likes a run, likes a hit. This
She
one.
does. We should have number 3. Chanel Sambo comes back to bat with runners on first, second and third, and still we don't have any out. Hits the first pitch out to centre field, who takes a catch behind the other fielder and makes the out and forces the play back to first, who puts a foot on the base for a double play. One fly to centre field. And makes the double play back to get Latara out at first base. That's a double play in this innings, and the runners didn't score, they stayed on base. Sharonette Tom from Warralong community, the other coach of the team. She's in. She hits the first pitch. Oh, it goes out.
Bringing them all home here.
Through the legs of the centre fielder. Runs to 2, and being the coach that she is, thinks, oh, I'll be kind and I'll just steal to 3. Could have had a home run, but decided fair's fair, I'll do a triple. Brings in a run. We have 2 out, runner on 1, and Anna back to bat. She goes after this pitch, and right field sneaking up on that ball. It bounces fair. And we'll just throw this back here. Sharonette, she sneaks away home on that hit. 1 more run scored. Cheyenne Booth, Nullagine. She comes in to bat this ball. Her turn. She goes after that, and she does the same as what Anna does. Hits it out to right field. Right field returns the ball. Pitcher picks it up, makes a play. There's going to be a rundown play. Oh, but the runner, she makes it safely back to second base. Anna Aspro collects the ball, but I'm sure she's pretty tough. Doesn't hurt till she gets home and scores a run. Carla.
Love the twirl of the bat.
Carla Francis swings the bat around, yeah. Some people, a lot of batters have a bit of different techniques when they come into the bat, a bit of different routines. Carla likes to swing that bat around before she sees the
That's it. Bit of
pitch.
swagger.
Yep. Stands in that batter's box and she says, pitch that ball at me because I'm going to hit it. Swing that bat around. She goes after it, exactly what we say. Smacks the ball out to left field. Advances her runners onto the bases and loads them all up. Chloe Stream, another girl from the Nullagine community, comes in to bat this ball. Can she clean the deck? She hits it up to third base. Third base takes the option to make the force out at 3, and that retires the team. In the top of the third innings, not before 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I got
9,
9-17.
10. Yep, not before 10 runs, and whoever's doing the scoreboard for me is doing a brilliant job because I'm losing track of some of these runs that sneak across the base. We're going into the bottom of the third innings. And we should have Julia up to bat. For the Yapura team. Oh, sorry. Not Yapura team.
How's the participation in softball these days, Graham?
From where I come from, in my association, they're growing. They
Yeah.
are growing. The youngsters, there's a lot more youngsters, and you can see from the competition that they're playing out here, the under-15s competition. There's it's strong around the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
In WA, it's building up. We need to have some more in the sports in the schools to bring them in.
Yeah.
But,
So who's the number one state?
New South Wales, I would
Right,
say. You
right.
can see by the Open Women competition that New South Wales are dominating this competition,
Right.
and rightly so. They've got the techniques, they've got the skills, they've got the support to help them play.
Mm.
But doesn't mean any of the other states are that far behind them, though.
Yep.
Pretty good. So we go into the bottom of the third innings, and we have Julia Burton for the Kakara team to face the first pitch. She lets that go for a ball. She moves away from that one, not going to get hit, and that's another ball. Three balls, umpire.
Oh, I thought that had 4.
What was it? Ball 4. Oh, I must
Yes,
have slipped
no.
one in while I was talking. She picks up a wood and wanders off to first base.
Another bit of swagger with the bat.
Yep. Sheena Robinson from Penmu community and coach of this team. She comes in to bat. Doesn't want that ball. And Julia sneaks herself across to second base on the pass ball. She thinks she's going to go after that pitch again. Swing and a miss. And gets a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another ball on the outside. And Julia decides, I might just stay on second base for the time being. Have another ball.
Ooh.
She swings at that one and a miss. Full count on Sheena. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And she goes after this one. Regulation 2-strike hitting rule.
Oh, great
Pops it
catch.
out to centre field. Is easily taken by the fielder out there for the first out in the innings.
Graham, what was that? What did you say then? Regulation 2-strike hitting rule. What's that?
Normally, if the batters have got 2 strikes on them, if anything is close within their hitting zone, they're expected to have a go and hit the ball.
Right,
If they don't and they swing and a miss, they could be struck out.
right.
They put the ball into play if they have a
Right.
2-strike rule. It's just an unwritten rule.
Yeah, no.
Runner on Bianca snuck that one in while I'm talking, so she gets herself on first base with a hit to shortstop. Ashton comes in. 1 pass, 1 called strike, and the runners take off. The catcher tries to pick off the runner going to 3, but unfortunately the runner beats her on this time. At this time. Ashton puts it into play. Oh, tagged out by first base for the second out in this innings, but not before Julia Burton sneaks away home to score 1 more run for her team. Menna Watson from the Jigalong community strolls into the batter's box. Oops. Obvious.
Don't know what that was.
No, no. Obviously must have missed the tag there. Ashton keeps herself on base. 1 ball on men up. And so there's only 1 out now in this innings. Mena goes after this one. Strike 1. Umpire lets that drop down on the base ground for a ball. Second base fielder comes across, stop the runner going from second to third, but doesn't stop Bianca Simpson coming home to score 1 more run for her team. Jerry Ann comes in. She gets some secret notes from the bench to see what she can do with the bat. Only 1 out in this innings so far. She's ready to hit this ball. And the umpire calls it a strike on Jerry Ann. He lets that one go through to the catcher for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one's on the outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's ball 3 on Jerry Ann, with runners on 1 and 2. She hits the ball out to left field.
Oh,
And the return comes back, but still just beats the runner, just beats the fielder on the return back from left field.
big home run here, Graham. Bring all
Could be, it
everyone
could be
home here.
It could be. Linnell, she's known to hit this ball pretty big. Loaded bases, she could do a grand slam hit here. Smack it out into the outfield and bring those 3 runners home on the base, plus herself.
Ooh, this pitcher's getting a bit of fizz on that ball. I don't know if
Yes.
he's going to strike this one out.
Pitcher's just getting a little bit
Bit of rhythm.
too quick. She needs to take a little bit more time. Put a strike in there so she can control this field. It's away. She knows how strong this batter might be, so she's keeping it out of her zone. And that'll be ball 4. Linnell takes a walk and brings in 1 run.
Changing the pitcher.
Shamika up to bat. That's away. Looked a beautiful strike, that one. Pitcher's coming back now to put the strikes in. And she picks up the play and the
Oh.
ball hit back through her.
Got a run.
Recovers, runs across, picks up the ball and forces the out at second base. For number 2. And the runners on first and second. Scored 3 runs so far with runners on first and third. Oh, straight back to the pitcher to the catcher. The catcher, she got to make a tag on this play because it's not a force. And she takes, oh, the umpire calls her safe. So Jerry Ann, she gets herself home. Oh, what do we got here? We got a bit of a mess up here. Oh, she forces across. Rabina
Sneaky.
gets excited and runs across to second base. Everyone's stealing. Everyone's running around bases. Stole a few bases and stole a run. Shamika comes home. Number 5. And Rabina, she wants to run every base. She wants to steal every base. And Julia Burton up to bat.
Whoa.
Goes for the big strike. Swing and a miss.
Loves a hit.
And she goes after this one and fouls the ball back into the net behind the catcher for strike 2. So we've got Rabina on third base. And she goes for a big smack in the outfield, but that ball's caught by left field for the third out in this innings. Up before they score 5 runs. Score now after the completion of 3 innings. 16 runs to 14. Kakara has made
15.
15 runs. Oh,
15 to 17.
all right, I snuck one in there.
What
We've
I've
got
got.
16-14 up on the scoreboard over there. Umpires call time and game. Thank you, ladies. That was a great exhibition game. Lots of running, lots of hitting, and people knowing what they need to do when they field the ball. Thank you. Thank you, Trevor. Thoroughly enjoyed that call. Thank you, umpire, for your work.